What's up, guys? I don't know if you can hear me. Give me a little feedback on the audio quality. Excuse me, audio quality, video quality, and the audio balance as well. The music, am I too loud? Is the music too loud? Just let me know. Good to know, good to know. Just give me a second here. What about the video quality? I'm getting some warnings in the YouTube studio, but to me it seems like everything's more or less okay. Is it laggy? Is it bad quality? Yeah, that's normal. That's because I just have a webcam going, and if I shake the table, it shakes the screen, which shakes the webcam. So I'll try and not do that, but you might have to remind me. Okay, good to know. Sorry about the shakiness. We'll have to bear with it this time, I think. Okay. Bear with me maybe another minute here. Thanks for the feedback, Pirate. Integra guy, what's up? MC, welcome, guys. Oh, our music just died out. Give me a second. Technical issues out of the gate. Okay, here we go, we're back. Sweet, 1440, 60 FPS. Okay, good. Nice, the warnings are gone here too on this side, so good to know. So what's up with you guys? What did you guys do this weekend? What have you been up to? Any crypto stuff? If you guys have followed my Twitter or my YouTube posts, you'll know I picked up 2 cards, 2 EVGA 3070's. So that was it for me, but what about you guys? I'll keep them here for a while, actually. We'll see if some more people will tune in. I'm gonna actually move the camera after to another position, so I kind of have a look on the Octominer, because that's where I'm gonna be putting the cards in. Copper modded your A2000s, wow. Did you actually, were there really that bad of overheating problems on them? Because from what I understood, the A2000s, they weren't too bad. I know DJ Mines has a lot of content on those, but I haven't been following recently. I've just kind of been getting back into the crypto space, the mining space. So I don't know, maybe with time, have they had issues with those cards or whatnot? But they seem pretty decent to me. Or is it just preventative? Are you guys actually still mining, or have you shut off your rigs? In my case, I'm still mining for now. I'm not sure how long longer I'll keep it going. I'll probably shut them off this week and just clean them out, maybe make a video on that. I only have 3 rigs, so it shouldn't be that long, and now is obviously the time to do it. I mean, you've seen tons of other YouTubers like Red Panda and all them do it, because it obviously is the best time. It's a good idea. I shut my 1660 Super rig off for the stream, just so it's not overheating in here, but my Octominer's still running. My 30 series rig is still running. At a loss, but I'm going with Flux and Raven, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, hopefully there'll be an upturn soon in the markets or in yields or something that'll bring profitability back up, because obviously people can't keep going on like this forever. And actually, look, while we're speaking here, let me try and do this. Switch the view. Let me just see if that works here on the stream. Hey, what's up, hobbyist? What's up, hobbyist? How are you, man? I don't know if that worked. Aha, okay, it did work, Hobbyist, what's the ventilation in that room? What do you mean the ventilation in that room? What do I have it set up to get the heat working? I have one of those fans you would have sort of in your hut, let's say above your stove, something like that. I have one of those in the window to exhaust the hot air. Normally I'll just leave other windows open in my basement, and with natural airflow it'll be good enough. And recently, it's actually been cold, and I've wanted to heat my house. So I leave the window open, just cracked a little bit, so I can suck some fresh air in, and I have a fan blowing it out of this room, and then it slowly just goes upstairs, and it does work. I mean, it takes a while to heat the house up, but I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. But right now, nothing crazy really. I'm thinking one of the best ideas would maybe be a grow tent, because I only have like 2 open air rigs. I could put them in there. In the summer, I could exhaust it directly outside, and then in the winter, I could do a chump change and send it into my my ducts, my heat ducts. I have forced air, and actually, that's what I did most of my weekend. I was like just foil taping all the joints and that of the ducts, because that was never done before. So yeah, good. Basically, a full day's work on that between Friday and Saturday. So yeah, sorry, I switched the view. What I wanted to check out here was the Ravencoin hash rate. It's been going up and down, but you guys can see the trend is that it's going slightly down. So I think people are, you know, biting the bullet and taking their rigs offline slowly but surely. Flux has been actually pretty steady. That's impressive. That's impressive. I mean, there's ups and downs, but close to that 8 megasols, I guess. Is that megasols? I'm not sure. So yeah, hobbyist, I should probably add you as a moderator. I'm not even 100% sure how to do that. Give me a minute. So yeah, dude, my electric rate is 9 point something cents, and that's Canadian. So I don't know what that is in US. You can look it up quickly, but yeah, so it's a pretty good rate, 9 point something. Actually, my first certain amount of usage is like 6 point something cents, but that goes by so fast every month, and then it jumps to 9 point something. So I'm mining at a loss right now. It's not horrible, but it's better than a lot of people's situations. So I count myself lucky. Can I easily add moderators in here? That's what happens when it's your first live stream, boys. Oh, I can just go in the chat. There you go. Okay, add moderator. Let's see if this works. 15, and is that US or is that Canadian? Leno Chod 79. 6 people here. All right. It's picking up. Yeah, so maybe I'll just show you guys the cards now. There was no boxes, there was no bags, no nothing, so I just put them in some other EVGA bags I had. But I got 2 3060's XC3s. I had to turn the autofocus off my camera, or else it really was bad. So I don't know if I can see it properly, but I'll open it up here. So yeah, I bought both of these GPUs yesterday from somebody who was liquidating their mining farm local to me. I paid $330 Canadian dollars each, so it was $660 for both, which I think is amazing. I know hobbyist, I actually watched one of your videos. It was before the ETH merge, and I think you were picking up 3070's for $325 US, and then 3060 Ti's for $300, I believe. So yeah, I kind of use that as like more or less a benchmark, and people were selling used like still way too much here. They wanted $500-600 Canadian, which is like way too much given the state of the market and the economy. So there was no way I was going for that. But yeah, when I found this guy liquidating his farm, to me it was a pretty good deal. I couldn't really pass it up. So here we go. We have the 3070 XC3. I actually don't even know if these are LHR or not. Not that I really care at that price. I don't. But yeah. And actually, okay, I have a question for you guys. If you guys can answer this. I think this is maybe B stock, this card. The other card is not, because if you look on here, there's a little sticker that says QC OK. So there's some sort of quality control that was done on this card. I don't know if EVGA does this to like one card in X many as quality control in the factory, or this is refurbishing or repair or something. And then there's a sticker that says T14 over here. So if anybody knows what that is, I'd be curious to know. I tried to Google it yesterday and really couldn't find anything, to be honest with you. So yeah, Yeah, last EVGA GPU, yeah. On top of it, they're EVGA ones, which I love. They work great. The fans are super good, super efficient. They're quiet. Build quality is great. And EVGA is a great company. So it was like the cherry on top almost, you know, icing on the cake. And it's just too bad they're going out of business, man. Because, yeah, they were probably my favorite. Asus is probably my second favorite. And Zotac, they're at the bottom of the list. They are, I hate it. I have two 30 series cards, a 3060, a 3060 Ti. They're the dual fan editions. And oh man, both of the fans, just out of the box, brand new, they make a ticking sound. And it still does it. It works fine, but I've seen Chump change his videos with his Zotac cards, and man, I don't want to get into that crap. I really don't. I know for sure I'll have to change those fans eventually. I already had to do it on my 1660 Super Zotac card, but that was totally my mistake. I can't blame that on Zotac. By accident, I put my finger on the fan, or in the fan, and it busted one of the blades, and it still ran okay, but eventually I think running unbalanced, it busted off a second fan blade, and then it just made so much noise. It sounded like somebody was hitting a wood stick with a baseball bat. It didn't even make sense how loud it was for the size of this like tiny 1660s Super GPU. So yeah, I took it off mining. I got it fixed before I put all my rigs back online, actually, after I was done my move, and yeah, that was it. So anyway, let's get back to these cards. I don't want this live stream to be too long. 2060 compared to other cards at 50. Yeah, I know. I have a 3060 Ti that's exactly the same as this, and man, that thing runs in my computer case. I can run it at 80%, like you're saying, and I don't hear it at all. I really don't hear it at all. But if I'm running, let's say, some Raptorium mining on my CPU and my AIO starts going, man, I hear that like crazy. So yeah, they are really, really silent. I know these for sure are. So yeah, the second one, same thing, same card, same model. They're actually pretty clean. I mean, I see some dust on here, but it seems like they were probably gotten recently. Or, other option is that he cleaned them. But yeah, super clean and no stickers on this guy. So, yeah. Both the GPUs. So we're going to be putting them in the Octo Miner. I have 9 cards in there right now. I'm going to be putting these 2 in and maybe shopping for 1 more card just to fill up everything in the near future. But then I'll probably hold off on buying more cards until it's not profitable. I mean, it'll be hard because good deals will come up, but I can't overextend really at this point. And yeah, as a pirate, I haven't really had the chance to play with 20 series GPUs. Like when I started mining, if you look at the earlier videos on my channel, like the first ones, which are pretty cringe, but if you dare to adventure there, give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry. If you adventure there, you'll see like I started all with 10 series cards. I had a 1070 in my computer. That was the first card I started with, and I bought all kinds of other 10 series GPUs. And what I did during the bear market last summer was basically try trading up cards. So let's say I would sell like a 1060 at whatever price, and I would try and buy a 1070 at that same price. You know, it's kind of like trade up models without adding money. Or sort of doing the opposite, you know, selling one card at a higher price and buying a similar card back, the same model, a different brand or something, at a lower price. So I sort of upgraded my farm, and I even did that to 16 series quite a bit. So during the bull run, I was able to ditch all my 10 series, but I completely just skipped over 20 series. I really concentrated on 1660s, 660 Supers more specifically because they're really efficient, and 30 series for the same reason. I didn't want to just have like 1 or 2 20 series cards really. I know they're really good on Flex, I think, right? Like 2080 Ti's are one of the best cards on Flex, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just really recently got into Flex, but yeah. So maybe in the future I will build a 20 series rig because I want to put more cards in Flex as well. But right now it's all about efficiency. With the current state of things, it's really all about efficiency, and you can't go wrong with these 3070's, right? Obvious. I don't know about that one. Let's try and get to 5K first, and then we'll see about 50. I'm not as consistent. I'm not as dedicated as you are. We have to be honest. So it'll take me a while, man, but I won't give up. So yeah, let me see. Can I move the camera and start on the octo miner? Yeah, let's do that. So let me shut it off. Let me switch the camera view here. Split screen. We will stop the miner. We'll turn off the octo miner. I'll try changing the camera, and we'll test these cards. Hopefully they work. I didn't test them beforehand. I really wanted to yesterday. I was like an addict going through withdrawal. I had these cards just sitting there on my table and I'm just looking at them, eyeing them. But yeah, I made the request to live stream yesterday, and it takes 24 hours for YouTube to approve it, so that got me, and I had to wait. So let's stop the miner, give it a second. Okay, question for you guys, or feedback. I see some people, when they shut off the rigs, they don't turn off the miner, they don't let the cards cool down, they don't even, like, if it's Windows or whatever, they don't even like click right, you know, power off, or in Hive, they don't even go here, they just hit that power button, or they just hit the PSU, you know, the breakout board power button to kill the rig. And I don't know, that scares me, man, doing that type of thing. I'm sure it's fine, because when you lose power, that's exactly what happens, right? You just, everything loses power, it shuts down, it reboots afterwards, and it's good to go. I mean, you can have issues, it's just, in my book, it's like, why take the risk when I can shut them down properly? And two, I feel like when you kill the miner, it leaves the cards a bit of time to cool down. So you're not just shutting it down, shutting down your fans when your GPU might still be at, like, whatever, the core might be at 65 degrees or something. So anyway, that's just my mentality, but maybe there's something I'm missing to it. Yeah. So let's get back to this here. Sorry guys, sorry. See what I mean? So my temps are dropping a bit now, and now I'm good to turn it off. So it's longer, but this is kind of always what I do. So while that is going on, let me switch back here to the full view. Oh man, that's a lot of noise that just went away. Where's my stream? Where's my stream? Okay, so let's try this, guys. I might have to ditch the headphones. Let's ditch the headphones. Oh, and how do you like the shirt? Okay, we'll get it going here. Give me a second. Okay, and I think we're gonna have to change the focus on this, huh? Give me a second here. It's a little too bright too, but let me know, guys. Let me know. Is it too bright? I know the focus is a bit off. I'm gonna try and. Oh yeah, hobbyist. I know you have that shed, man. It's pretty awesome. I actually, when I got this place, the shed was under construction. It's like a really nice shed, but it's so close to my neighbors, and I need it for actual storage room that it won't go to mining. But the thought crossed my mind, definitely. So let me know, guys. How is it? Hey, oh, it's Rondi. What's up, man? How you doing? Okay, so you know what? Let me just start, and you guys tell me if it's bad quality or whatnot, or the focus is off. We'll do it that way. So let's unscrew this. Man, I love these octo miners. Honestly, these things are so easy to work with, so troubleless. I absolutely love them. At first, I didn't mind the Windows rigs, and honestly, I still don't. It's not really that troublesome. But once you've worked with an octo miner and Hive OS, man, is it ever? It is a game changer. Okay. My mic cable is barely long enough, but we make it. Put this on the ground, because if I drop this in there, it ain't gonna be good. Okay, so that's great. You guys can only see my back when I'm working in there. Okay, hold up. Hold up, lads. Okay. Oh, obviously I missed some here. Oh, the top ones. Yeah, I'm retarded. I haven't opened this up in a while. I remember there being 6 screws. I only took out 4. Makes sense. Is there a lot of white noise on the mic, guys? I mean, I still have this one rig going. Oh, you can't see because the camera's here. Yeah. Rigs, my crypto mining basement room come mid-fall. Yeah, it's so tempting, hobbyists, when you have the space, you have the power. Like I did the 240 volt upgrade here, so I have the power. I'll show you guys the card in the meantime. But yeah, when you have the room, you have the power, and you have the funds, even if it's not profitable, it's so hard, man, to justify not buying the cards. You're like, I did all this other stuff, all this effort, I just need the GPUs, right? And that's the addiction taking over. Come on. So I'll show off the stickers quickly here. We got some Raven Coin, got Max Voltage, Caveman Mining, TPS, Altered Component, excuse me, I don't know what that was. And yeah, that's it for the community stickers. If anybody wants to send me some, hit me up. I'm actually trying to get some stickers to send out to the community as well. Helium miner. Hobbyists, are you actually making decent profits with that helium miner? I have 2 of them. I have one in this location, which has made, I think, zero helium in the past 2 months, probably. And I'm in a location just with 3 other miners that are in my hex. So honestly, I don't really get why I'm getting so low profits. It's just like nothing's happening on the network, I guess. And I have one at my parents' place. And in that case, it does make actually a bit of, a profit, I guess, because the electricity is so low on those that, oh, did I use the wrong cable here? No, that's okay. Yeah, the power usage is so low on those guys that I don't think it really, changes much. Ooh, I just realized I'm gonna need some screws to screw these guys in, but I can always do that after. So, okay, so that's one GPU in. I'm sorry guys for the horrible camera angle, huh? I'm looking back at my stream here and you can't see too much of what I'm doing, but look, it is what it is. We'll be back on the PC soon. So yeah, everybody that's here in the chat, what are you guys currently doing? Are you currently buying GPUs? Are you just holding off, waiting for price drops and or profitability? Or are you selling off? Are you like, I've had it, ETH is over with, I've made my profits, I've ROI'd, whatever it is, and I'm selling. Because I know that was the case for the person who I bought this card from actually. He had ROI'd already, and oopsie daisy. He had ROI'd already, and he just didn't want to put up with everything post-merge. He didn't actually sell any Ethereum either. He had all of it, he was hodling it, but he was just moving on to other things, man, moving on. And I don't blame him, it's not for everybody. And it's rough times, man. It is rough times because it's not just the profitability in the crypto market, it's the current state of the economy in general. Both of those things combined with inflation it's painful, man. It's painful. Okay, so one card in, it's plugged in. Again, it's not screwed in, but that should be okay for now. Second one. Here, let me catch up on the chat for a second here, guys. Hobby, my helium is making more than a 3090. Well, if your 3090 is unprofitable, your helium miner is making more. Rondi, how much helium are you making per day, man? Or per month, or per whatever? Oh, dude, what? Thank you very much, Rondi, for the super chat. You're officially the first person to get a super chat on here, so thumbs up to that, man. I just want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it. But number one thing is I'm just here to chill out with you guys, to hang out. We talk, we go back and forth. So never feel obliged to, you know, stay if you can't. Don't feel obliged to donate anything. Just we're all here to have fun, guys, and hang out and be with other community members. And you guys all know crypto mining is the best community anyway. So I'll stop there. I'm not gonna rant on here forever. So second GPU, I'm sort of questioning myself on the placement. I have a slot here open between both of my Zotac cards, but man, they're just so bad at cooling that I don't really want to put another card in between them. They're just going to heat up even more. So I might have to put this guy over here. And okay, feedback from some people who have octo miners. I noticed that the closer I get to this end with the power supplies, it's really hard to get the GPUs in. It's like if the motherboard was not like perfectly at the right level in here, and like getting that RX 580 in, man, was that a struggle, So I don't know if I'm gonna have a lot of trouble here with the 3070. If not, I'll just stick it in the other slot and deal with it later. But I remember that 580 taking me forever. And I felt like I was bending the octo miner out of shape to get it in there, but yeah, it's gonna be the same with this guy. Oh, I got it. Wasn't as bad, but I'll take it. And now where is the power cable for this guy? Aha, here we go. Oh man, these power cables are dusty. The cards actually aren't too bad in here, man. That's surprising. Like the back is pretty dusty. The fans are really dusty in the front. The power supply bay, but the cards themselves are actually not too bad. I'm surprised. Okay, let me get back to business here. Plug these guys in. Again, sorry for the view, guys. I know it's not ideal, but I'll eventually try and get an actual camera and not use my webcam and get a better mic and all that stuff. Everything in due time. So, both are plugged in the PCIe slot, and the power is connected. I think we're good to go. I will definitely not be putting everything back together until I test this. 0.8 HNT. Okay, it's on 4 miners, but still, man, that's something. So let me get this. Technical difficulties. So I dropped the webcam. No worries. Okay, we're back. We're back in business. Let me get the headphones back on, guys. Thank you, by the way, to everybody who came to hang out. I appreciate it. It's nice to have some support from the fellow community members. Everything inside the octo miner would get dusty. Oh yeah, I mean, for sure, it is dusty, Ronnie, don't get me wrong, but when I cleaned it out last time, it was a mess. It was a mess. Don't forget, I have a cat too, so there was a lot of hair in there. And this time I just feel like it's really not that bad. Maybe it's because my cat doesn't come down here that much. I think that's probably it. That makes a lot of sense, actually. 10-second rule, yeah. Does that apply for a webcam? I don't know. One sec, let me. By the way, if you guys want any cool crypto gear, crypty.co is the place to go. I'm sure a lot of you already know that here, looking at the names in the chat, but Rondi, man, I can't get over that. 0.8 HNT a day on 4 miners. So your location is killing it, is basically what I'm understanding from this, is that your location is killing it. Give me a second here. Let me just move this stuff out of the way. Okay, so let me get back to the Octo miner. Let me switch the view. Okay, so what? Okay, there we go. That's weird. What I'm gonna do is take a picture of my overclocks in the cards, because what I found that happens is when you add cards in the Octo miner, sometimes it'll shift all your cards and the overclocks with it. So let's say you add a card and it pops up in between any of these here, and you just like add the overclocks to it and go, everything's gonna be shifted, and you won't be getting the overclocks you expect there. So I'm just gonna record this in case, and we should be good to go. Cool. Let me go turn the Octo miner back on. We'll check if these cards work, and then we'll get the mining on Ravencoin, I think. Maybe we'll switch them to Flux, but we'll OC them on Ravencoin first, because I'm familiar on how to do that. Flux, I'm still a noob, and I don't mind saying it. I really don't. I really don't. Okay, back to business. Let's go. Sorry for the hurricane. All right. All the fans are running on the cards, so that's a good start. Oh, and yesterday obviously I examined the cards. I made sure they were all good and everything, and the guy still had the stickers on the fan hubs in the middle. So that's something I'm guilty of sometimes, but I find it pretty funny. If it's really noisy, it's the Octo miner powering up. Just give it a minute. Yeah, thanks. Smash the like, guys, if you can, please. I'm not used to the normal live stream chat. Smash the like, subscribe, all that stuff, right? Yeah. Yeah, man, I'll start with Ravencoin. If it can take the heat and it cools well, I know it'll run well on anything else. I mean, I think Ravencoin's probably the most power intensive, Flux a little bit less, and then ETC, right, you're pretty low power consumption considering everything. Up to 13 people, nice, cool. Doubled since I last checked. Hello from Serbia, what's up? Yeah, let me try and catch up on the chat here a second. Let me go back up. Okay. Hodling my old power-hungry Vegas that are losing value by the day. That's how it is, that's how it is. You have to capitalize. I think of it this way, if I buy more cards, then I'm basically lowering my cost average of my farm, right? So it doesn't help if your farm isn't making any money and it's not profitable, right? That's another thing, but in terms of your investment into your farm and your cost average, I mean, you can still affect that, right? Still mining, but I shut off from 1559, oh. Holding, but ready to get more GPUs if they're very cheap. Right now the price is still, yeah, it was the same thing here, man. I was just sort of scrolling, you know, Kijiji and Marketplace and looking, but people didn't want to give realistic prices. Like I wasn't trying to lowball people. And I think 330 is like the cards, or the prices I paid for those cards is probably less than I would have actually went for, like bargained for. But he was listing them, I think, at 350. He was listing 3060 Ti's and 3070's at the same price at 350. I think I offered him 600 for two 3070's, kind of like a low ball-ish, but his price was really low. And when he told me both for 660, I was like, sold. Sold. Normally I would have probably renegotiated again, but at that price, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to complain. They're EVGA cards too. Awesome. I can't complain. So let's get back to the chat. Yeah. So hello from Serbia. What's up? Predrag. I don't know if I'm messing up people's names. I'm sorry. That's on me. Don't hate me. Pierre Hardware. I'm looking to buy used 3070's, but the price in France. Hey, France. Cool, man. I speak French. are not very interesting, especially in my region of Paris. Fine 3070s at 400 euros, but in the south, nothing below 500 euros. Wow. I know too, man, the euro is like almost the same as the US dollar now. So I was looking at new GPU prices, and the prices were were more expensive in euros than they were in US, and like they were the same as Canadian. So to me, that didn't make sense. Like, normally stuff is less in euros because it's worth more. And then I looked at the conversion rate, and like the euro and the USD was the same thing. So I think that's really hurting you guys right now. I don't know if it's the US dollar that gained a lot of value. I don't think so, because CAD to US is about the same. So maybe it's the euro that lost a bit of value, which would make sense with all the stuff that's going on over there now, let's say. Not just the energy situation, but the war and all that. I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, that's a little expensive, man. 500 is a little expensive. I don't know what taxes are like for you guys. Here I have to pay 15% sales tax. So let's say I'm paying, you know, a $3090, $1,000. Well, it's $1,150 I have to fork out at the end of the day. So, yeah. On hardware swap. MC, I'm not sure what that is. Nice. On hardware swap? Let me know. ETC mining is pretty much dead. Yeah, man. ETC mining, I was never a big fan of ETC. I mean, again, I came into the GPU mining scene pretty late. I was never a huge fan of ETC, and now ASICs have basically killed it. I mean, I don't really want to say ASICs killed it. I mean, that's a reality of it. It's not like it's their fault. It's just all those Ethereum ASICs, you knew for sure that that's what was going to happen. So anyway, how much did I buy my 3070s? Yeah, Pierre, they were 330 Canadian a piece. So I bought two of them for 660 Canadian, which I think is a great price, especially EVGAs. Like, I like Asus's. Gigabytes, I don't mind if they're 3070s and under, because then you don't have the GDDR6 memory, and your VRAM temps don't explode. So yeah, can't go wrong with your VGA, man. I have 3060s, I have a 3060 Ti, I have two 3070 Ti's, a 3080, all EVGA, I love them. And the Asus TUF are great too. That's why I said earlier in the stream, Asus is probably my second favorite card brand. Asus TUF are awesome. And even the Asus dual cards, they're much better than the Zotac dual cards. Like, not even comparable. It's like the 3060 EVGA cards, man. The XC, or is it XC2 or XC, whatever. Just the dual fan ones. They're great. They're great cards. It's not because they're dual fan that they're not good. Like I'm sure some dual fan cards beat Zotac triple fan cards, but I'll stop with the Zotac hate. What coin to mine for profit? Right now, pretty much nothing, man. If you tuned into Rabid Mining's stream before, he talks about that a lot during his streams. So if really that's what you're interested in, like what can I spec mine, if it's Meow Coin or whatever coins he's talking about, go check out his streams. He'll give you some good advice on what you want to spec mine. I'm not into that stuff. I stick to more the mainstream coins. I guess at this point, even if you're mining Raven Coin or Flux, it is spec mining. But I'm not going to mine stuff that's brand new out of the box, like ETH POW. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole, boys. It's not happening. Where you bought the 3060 Ti's? It's a 3070s I bought from a miner. My 3060 Ti, MC, I'm a little mixed up where I bought the 3060 Ti's. Those I gotten from Canada Computers. Or was it? No, it was Best Buy, I think, during the pandemic. But no, yeah, the 3070s, I got them from a local miner here. Somebody I found on Marketplace who was liquidating their farm. And I spoke to him for a little bit while I sent them the e-transfer. Super nice guy. He was asking what I was doing, what I was mining, this and that. And he was big on Ergo. So we didn't go into the details of that. That's not really something I want to cover too much either. A lot of people already covered it. And I think probably by my lack of wanting to speak on it, you can kind of tell what my opinion is on that. But let me know. Let me know in the chat. It's a good question. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about the whole Ergo situation, and maybe I'll comment more on it. Okay, so let's get back to the Octo here. I got too caught up in chat. NVIDIA OC failed. That's all good. It's all good. I have the 3070. Both 3070s show up. Let's go. Hit that. Smash that like button, guys. See, now I'm getting those live streamer habits or reflexes, right? Hey Dan Hadley, what's up? Yeah, Pierre, I know, man. That's why when, honestly, I was telling myself like I shouldn't buy cards. I had other things to pay with the house and this and that, other expenses. So this is really pushing it, but like at that price, I felt stupid, and I talked it over with my girlfriend, and we agreed to go for it, you know. So it is what it is. I couldn't pass. I'm addicted. I'll admit it. So let's configure those OCs. I'm gonna have to ignore chat for a second. So see what I mean? It copies the OCs from other cards, and it basically becomes all messed up. So that's why I like taking a little screenshot. You know what all your cards are overclocked to afterwards, and you're good to go. So, so the first, see, the first one was added here. So now everything is going to be offset. That is a pain. That is a pain. Okay, so we'll do it backwards because that way we won't lose any data. What did I have on the 1070 Ti? 70 fan, 100 on the core, 1200 on the memory, and my power limit was 135. Okay. Let's see, can I actually do this and get the stream? Let's see. What are you guys mining right now? I'm going to assume most people are either mining Flux, Ergo, or Ravencoin, or you're spec mining, right? That's normally what it is. So let's try and get this going here. Move this stuff out of the way. Yeah, though it didn't come with the boxes. I said at the beginning of the stream, at that price there was no boxes included. I keep all my boxes for all my cards, so it was sort of like a, I don't know, something that triggered my OCD of like, no, I don't have the boxes for these cards. But like I said, at that price, I couldn't complain at all. Caspa and Radiant, yeah, so Radiant, Ravid talked about it this live stream or yesterday. I watched both, I forget which one. And Caspa, I've heard a lot about. You can dual mine Caspa too, I think, but again, I haven't looked too much into that because if I would mine that type of coin, that's something I would insta liquidate. Like I wouldn't hold it, I would just sell it right away. And I rather just put my hash towards a more reputable, you know, project. Let's say it that way. So let's get back to the OCs. Oh wait. Obviously that kills the view, so I'll do it this way. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. 1660 Super. Okay. And 50. We have 0 on the memory. Yeah. So let's talk about Flux for a second. I have the two 1660 Supers here mining Flux, and I found that putting memory on them just hurt it. So I run these with 0 memory. So I don't know if anybody else has that experience mining Flux on 1660 Supers, but I played around with this for quite a while, and any memory would just hurt it. So yeah, I opted for this. I had 60% fan on these guys, and 70 power limit. Cool. This one I had 72. 60, 0, 150. Oh, and make sure, guys, when you're adding cards to your rigs, okay? I should probably put this in maintenance mode, huh? Give me a sec. When you're adding cards to rig, make sure you're okay with the power draw afterwards, right? So we'll go without loading drivers, apply, and I'll restart the rig. Yeah, reboot. Yeah, so make sure you're not overloading your PSUs, right? Like I have 2 platinum power supplies in there, server power supplies, and since they're running on 240 volt, I get 1,200 watts out of each of them. So that's a total of 2,400 watts max. Obviously, you should be using the 80% rule. But adding two 3070s, I'm only adding like 250 watts. So they'll run max at 800 watts each, which is 66%. I know they'll be under that, but that's something you want to watch out for if you're changing algos, right? So in the Octominer, you don't have to worry about that too much, but if you're in an open air rig, something like this, and you're using splitters or anything like that, you want to make sure that if you're switching from ETC or ETH to Ravencoin, you're not going to burn something or whatnot. I don't know if you guys saw Red Fox's video where he had a fire on his breakout board. So that has nothing to do with overloading the cables, I think, but you want to avoid scenarios like that where you have fires. Actually, Hobbyist has a really good video on that. He had interviewed a firefighter and talked about a bit like those fire extinguisher balls and what type of fire detectors to get and all that stuff. It's really interesting if you're interested in that type of stuff, and you should be, because safety should be one of the top priorities there. Let's get back to the Octo. Okay, cool. So I think we can. We're back in maintenance mode here. We can get back to doing the OCs. Get back to doing the OCs. 3060, yeah. 2100. Now, so I normally run my 3060s at 135 watts for Ravencoin. That's the sweet spot where I like to run them. 100. I have the fan on this guy at 75 because it's a Zotac, right? Then we have the Zotac 3060 Ti, which is the same crappy dual model, which I don't like, but hey, it hashes anyway. I need 160 power limit on this guy. Fans are at 80. Memory 2000. And what did I have for core? Core. Lock core 1300. Cool. Okay, so now we're at those 3070s. I have another, so I'll just start at the same OCs as my other 3070, and we'll see how it goes. Let me get back to chat for a second. Take care, Pirate. Thanks for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. Have a good day tomorrow. Good night. Okay, 3070. Okay, and they're not even LHR. They're not even LHR cards. Because see, it doesn't even say it here. All my other ones, which are LHR, it says, right? So these are full hash rate cards. Awesome. Score. I'll take it. I'm even happier about my buy now. Anyway. So, let me set the Asus card first, because that one I know what it should be running at. Okay. 200 on the core. 150. And 2400 on the Is that good? 24? Yeah, okay. 60. Almost done, guys, then we'll be at the 3070s. This is the only thing that kind of bothers me in Hive. I don't know if it's Hive OS or the Octominer itself or what, but when you add cards, it doesn't remember like this GPU had this OCs, and like I said, they all get offset, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But hey, it is what it is. 100 on the core, 135. Okay, so does this make sense? Okay, so we're on to the 3070s. Put 150. Let me start the fans on 65. Memory will start at 2000. And what did I have on my core for the other ones? 200, I'll start at 150. That makes sense? Yeah, more or less? Try it. Where's the other 3070? 65, 150 power limit, 2K on the core, or on the memory, excuse me, and we'll do 150 on the core. So let me just cross-check this quickly, guys. Okay, it looks good. So let's clear this, get it out of maintenance mode here. Disable, apply. We'll reboot. Alrighty, we'll give that a second. Let me hop back to chat here. Super low wattage on one Raven rig, just because of the heat. Yeah, man, I get that. Do you get better efficiency or lower efficiency running super low wattage? I think at a certain point it hurts your efficiency, right? But if it's less power consumption and less heat, and that's what you have to go by, you do what you got to do, man. I mean, it is what it is. That's something actually I wanted to try out a little bit, is trying to take cards and like not going extremely low on the power limit, but lowering it down lower than you normally would and trying to see if you can get a decent efficiency there. Like, I think that's something Seb Heslow has played around with in the past, Seb's FinTech channel. I believe so. But yeah, I don't remember what algo it was on, if it was Ravencoin, Ethereum, Flux, whatever it was. But yeah, that's definitely a test I wanted to try and see, because at times like this, maybe you want to still be having a small yield, or maybe you still want to be heating your home a little bit, but you don't want to be burning through, you know, extreme amounts of power for nothing. So if you can have something that's 95% as efficient or 90% as efficient and it uses really low power, that might be a better option for you, you know? Okay, so I can hear the Octo rebooting. So what do I have on here? The first EVGA is Samsung memory. Second EVGA is Samsung memory as well. Sweet, 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 sweet. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Okay, so you can see my my cards mining Flux are already up. Let's see what happens for the rest. I messed up. We're gonna go to the flight sheet. I forgot a step. Shame on me. I didn't change the devices. So see, that's the thing now. When you add cards, everything gets offset. You kind of have to change the your arguments here, let's say, to choose what cards are mining what. So GPU 6, 7, and 8 are on Flux. There's 2 right over 4, okay. 6, 7, and 8, does that make sense? Yes, it does. So we'll modify the flight sheet. Flux. Yeah, we'll do 6, oops, 7, 8. Apply changes. And what did I have in T-Rex? Did I specify it? Yeah. So it was 6, 7, 8. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I messing something up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 3 cards on Flux. 9. Yeah, this is definitely wrong. 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, because I have to forget this one because it's AMD, right? So it's 9. 11 GPUs. So from 0 to 9, that makes sense. Oh, did I not save? Oopsie. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That should work. This should be good now. So let's actually save, update, all workers. I would have to update my only Raven flight sheet as well, but yeah. Should be applied. Let's run it. Restart miner. Yeah, so for now I only have 3 cards on Flux. My Red Fox's 1070 Ti, which he graciously sent me, and the 2 1660 Supers. But my 6x6060 Super rig, which is down here, I'm thinking of putting that on Flux as well. They're some of the least efficient cards I have, luckily. I mean, I have the RX 580 and the 1070 Ti, which obviously aren't the kings of efficiency. But the 1660 Supers I might slap on Flux as well. So I'll have basically 9 cards on Flux and then all my 30 series on Raven. Originally I wanted to get into some Ergo, but again, going back to the difficulty drama, I might hold off for a little bit. Let's put it that way. Let's get back to the chat. What's up? Not too much. How long have we been going for here? Since 56 minutes. All right, not too bad. Time flies when you're having fun, huh? Let's get back to the rig here. Okay, so okay, so now it seems like we're going properly here. So my 3 cards mining Flux. You can see the first 1660 Super is doing much better on the Silicon Lottery. This one's a little, it's a slacker, this card, but it's all good. 1070 Ti hashing out. Yeah, all this looks good to me. Where are my 3070's? Aha, so nice. This is already a pretty good baseline here. Almost 30 mega hash out of the box. I can probably turn the memory up more and maybe even turn the core up more. And where's my other one? Right here. Again, nice. And my temps are looking good as well. So I have these on 65. Temps are nice and low. Cool. I'll let it run for a bit and we'll see what's up. Looking good. Let's look at the power consumption here. So yeah. So what did I say more or less? Around that 800 watts per PSU, right? What are we at here? Pretty much 800 watts per PSU. So it doesn't do like a 50-50 split. I don't know how it decides what load to put on what PSU. You can see here PSU 2 here is taking 15 more watts, but that's basically 800 watts each, right? So with the 1,200 watt total, you're at 66%, right? 800 over 1,200. So I still have a lot of leg room on these, and I only have 1 more slot for a card in here. So I can honestly add a card in here and keep the spare PSU I have for my next rig, which is great. I have a 6-card frame that I bought used. I have a white AAAWave frame they sent me back around Christmas time. I have a spare EVGA PSU, spare mining cave PSU. So I'd really just need like a motherboard, CPU, RAM combo kit. I even have a AAAWave SSD as well, so I don't need that. But just a little mobile kit, and I could get another rig running, and even use the Server PSU, which is great. So I have, again, room to grow. Now I have to stay off of Marketplace because I know that if I stay on Marketplace and Kijiji, I'm going to want to buy another 3070. I'm going to want to buy a motherboard. I think actually buying like a BTC 250 or like a dedicated mining motherboard now could be pretty beneficial. Those things were crazy, man. They would go like for 250, 300, 350, 400 bucks sometimes just for the Mobo. Just for the Mobo. I forget the name of the 12 GPU mining one that's super popular. It's the ASRock, right? Anyway, but yeah, that was way too expensive. Way too expensive for those types of boards. Like when I built my 1660 Super rig, I got a Z390A Pro because I had already built a computer with that motherboard. I liked it. I knew it worked well. And I can get 6 GPUs on it just fine. So yeah, that was good enough for me. I'd rather spend 150 bucks on that than like 400 bucks plus tax on the specific mining motherboard. It didn't make sense. But now you can get good deals on them. And actually, I had found a really good deal on 2 Mobos. One was a Gigabyte Z290, I think. which could support 6 GPUs, and one was a BTC 250, which could support 8 GPUs. And there was SSDs with them, there was CPUs, and there was RAM. And the guy wanted $150 for both kits. So I went to pick up both of the 3070s. I picked them up, and while I was there getting the cards, the guy for the motherboards texted me and said, "Oh, sorry, my son sold them to somebody else actually, so don't bother coming." He was at, normally like that would kind of piss me off, but I was really happy because I got the 3070s, and I was like, whatever, man, you know, stuff happens, it's all good, I'll find something else, you know. So fell through, but look, $150 in my pocket that I can probably spend elsewhere. And again, it was a buy to be ready for my next rig, but I don't really need it now. Like I said, I still have one slot left, and if it gets down to it, like, I doubt this will be the case because mining is unprofitable, but I could slap another GPU in the computer I'm running now. I could slap another GPU in my gaming computer upstairs. So yeah. Let me just hit a little refresh here. $29. Great. These cards are running cool. They're running well. Fantastic. I'm honestly really happy. Obviously, my electric bill is going to go up. It is what it is. Let's look at the profitability quickly of Raven Coin, let's say, and Zel Hash. We'll do a Flux, ETC, all that stuff on the 3070. 3070. Is LHR? Oh yeah, okay. Just check up on the chat quickly, lads. Oh, dude! New England Crypto in the house. What's up, man? What's up? Sorry, I kind of forgot about the chat for a second there. I was rambling on about whatever it was. Hey, Patrick. Patrick, what's up, man? Some more people tuning in here. Pierre, for the moment, I turned off my 3080s. Yeah, 3080s are not too efficient. 3070 Ti's, I think, are the worst efficiency. Like when I'm running Raven Coin, yeah, the 3070 Ti's are like around 150 kilohash per watt, and my 3080 is like 160 something. So 3080s aren't the best at efficiency. They're really hash dense, and I think cost effective, which is really good. Same as 3070s. Like 3070 Ti's are, I think, one of the most cost effective cards. So the most hash for your money, but they're also the least efficient cards. And I sort of leave out 3080 Ti and 3090. I've never mined with those, and I think they're really inefficient, so I don't really consider them. Like when I talk 30 series, 3060 to 3080. Obviously, forget the 3050s as well. I'm not talking about that. Let's get back to chat here. Just got baby Boston back to sleep. Being solo with baby is exhausting, man. So I don't have kids, New England Crypto, but I do have a 4-month-old German Shepherd. So I feel you, man. I feel you. When my girlfriend's off and I'm alone with the dog, sometimes he's sleeping and he's like, "Cool, I can actually do things." But if he's awake, it's a full-time job, man. It's a full-time job. Okay, let me. I got you there, New England. I got you, buddy. You're a mod now. Yeah, man, Patrick, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I was so busy. I was obviously like, when I stopped YouTube, I was looking for a new place to live. House prices were crazy. It was exhausting. I was doing visits all the time. I had work. It was, you know, I had to prepare the move. It was like a lot of stuff going on at once. I didn't have time for YouTube. And then getting into the house too, like obviously it wasn't something where we had a perfect house out of the gate. There was a lot of work to do, so I had months of work ahead of me. So when I moved in the end of June, I didn't have time. I really didn't have time. I even took time off work to get all this stuff done. And now I'm in a place where I can actually like enjoy my house and get back to other things and videos and YouTube and crypto mining. And man, my rigs were off like a month. I think a month, probably. Maybe a little more, but they were off a month during the move. I didn't have the power to run them all here in the basement. I had other things to do that were higher priority, but yeah, it's good, man. All that hard work is behind me. It's paid off because now I can grow my farm. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, man. If you guys look at my old videos where I was in my apartment, I had that one room and it was painful. I had work in that room. I had all these cards running. It was hot, it was noisy, heat management was a problem, electric was a problem. It was the same price, but obviously I wasn't gonna call an electrician and get him to install 240 volt in a place I was leaving, right? So that didn't make sense, but, and luckily my girlfriend's cousin is an electrician, so all the work that was done here, I had him come and do, which is great. I mean, he installed one 240 30 amp circuit, one receptacle in this room, one in my maintenance room. So if ever it gets too hot in here, I can kind of split some rigs over there. And if ever I blow the circuit, like if my power consumption is just too much, I'll have him run a second one to the second receptacle, and that's it, that's all. And I'll have two receptacles, each with their dedicated circuits, that'll be it. The basement here, so this room has 4 plugs, and the main room of the basement has maybe 3 or 4 more. The maintenance room has another 2 plugs, and all of them are on one 15 amp circuit, right? So I could barely run anything. I had him split the circuits here too. Luckily, like all my ceilings are open here, so it's super easy to, if you have to work on the duct work, do electric, anything like that, it's super easy to do, so thank God for that. Like I was saying earlier during the stream, like this weekend I spent so much time just foil taping all my ducts, all my HVAC ducts, because they were leaking air like crazy. Like the people who lived here before took care of nothing. Like there was no maintenance, there's no preventative maintenance, there's no upkeep. It was like bare freaking minimum, you know? So anyway, a lot of stuff to do, but yeah. Yeah, man, stress factor, that was a huge thing. I couldn't, and at the same time I was actually looking for a new job, so like it was so many things at once. I had to organize, you know, the switch of the electric with the electric company, insurance, it was so much stuff. Obviously dealing with the realtor, the notary, it's just like, it never ends, man. And I'm somebody who doesn't mind working. Like I'll hustle, I'll work all day if it takes it, but I just didn't have that extra time to be invested in crypto, basically. Not in crypto, but to be invested in the YouTube scene, basically. And I would still watch some people's streams, but even there I felt bad. Like I just didn't have time to sit down for an hour and watch somebody stream, you know. Now I can, so thank God for that. So yeah, guys, I'm not gonna keep the stream going for too much longer. But if you have any questions, please shoot them in the chat. If you don't mind, smash the like, I'd appreciate it. And we'll keep chatting for a bit, and we'll sign off not so long after that. So let me get back to what to mine here. I'm bad, guys. Like I'll switch off the chat. I'll forget the chat for like 10 minutes. Then I'll go back to the chat. I'll forget whatever I was doing. So you got to keep me in check there. So let's see. A 3070 on Kapow. This is wrong. 150 watts. Let's say 30 mega hash. Zel hash. I have no idea what 3070s can do, so I'll leave it there. And this will put 61 and a half at what, like 115 watts? I think mine ran at 110, but we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Zel hash will be a little low because what to mine always goes a little under. I find they underestimate your hash rate and overestimate the watts, which is good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good that you do that when you're giving an estimate, because I rather you give me an estimate for the worst case scenario and it can only be that or better, right? Then you're estimating the best case scenario and it can only be that or worse. So I'm not hating on what to mine, but let's just say their estimates could maybe be a little bit closer to reality. You know, I find they undershoot it quite a bit. So let's look here. Zel hash. So flux seems to be ETH hash? What am I missing here, boys? Oh, is this ETH proof of work? Oh, that's what it must be. Okay, so wow, that's interesting. That means I could slap, look, disclaimer before I even go on this, I'm not a big fan of NiceHash, personally, for many reasons. It's a great tool. It's great for onboarding new people into the mining community. It's great for people who are not super technically versed or good with computers or whatever. So it's a great tool. I'm not hating on it. It's just something as a more hardcore miner, I'm not a huge fan of it. But look, if you're making profit on it, you can get paid out in BTC. Maybe I should be doing that. Like I won't. I'm going to keep myself on Flux and Ravencoin. But people who like to always switch to the most profitable thing, I'd be mining ETH proof of work on NiceHash. Yeah. And again, I don't know how NiceHash ends up always with more profit than the actual algo. It's a little bait in my book, but it is what it is. So the closest thing to break even or profits is ETH POW. Running a little bit of 7 cents per day isn't bad actually. So I feel like the negative profits are getting better, meaning we're getting closer to zero and maybe eventually profits, but obviously it goes up and down and we can't predict the future. But so yeah, Flux minus 12, Ravencoin minus, okay, so let's just say that I'm gonna be running 150 watts. Maybe this is wrong. You guys tell me in the chat if I should be plugging in some different numbers here. And let's say I can get 62. I have no idea. Does it help it at all? 5 cents, 7 cents. So it's not bad. It's not bad, guys. It's really not bad. Well, okay. Let me take that back. It's bad, right? We're not making profit. We're not in a great situation, but it's not as bad as it was right after the merge, right? I think it's just more and more people are getting off the network because it's not profitable. And I mean, look, it's people doing like I'm doing. I'm trying to wait it out. I'm trying to see if the hash drops to a low enough level where I can get a good enough yield to justify, staying in the mining game, or the price has to come up, right? The price action has to make sense for us miners. Until then, we can only just sort of hold on. But if you can't pay out of your pocket, it's a tough spot, right? Yeah. So let's see, Ravencoin, we have around that 15 terahash. Let's refresh. Let's look at the month here. Yeah, so close to that 15. And again, I think this is mega souls per second. Does that make sense? No, that can't make sense. Mega souls? Nah, that can't make sense. If I'm getting 40 souls on a 1070 Ti, this can't be 7,000 something souls. Am I crazy? Yeah, there you go. So Patrick, I think you said it best, man. The more experience you get, the more control you want over your stuff, right? And NiceHash is good to get started. Like I said, I think it's great for onboarding new people and getting you experience to that. But eventually you might say to yourself, hey, I want to mine this Ravencoin specifically, or this or that, whatever it is. And I think people will naturally be drawn away. And look, I have buddies that they just have a gaming PC. They game most of the time, but in the winter, they'll slap their whatever 1660 Ti or whatever card they have in the gaming PC. They'll slap it on Ravencoin and they'll heat their room or their place, their apartment with the PC and go at it that way, But my point is that, that type of person is the person using NiceHash, and I know my buddies who do that do use NiceHash. Just, yeah, not my thing. Again, it's great for some people, just not my cup of tea. Nice hack. Yeah, there you go, New England. You said it, man. What are we looking at? Flux Raven. Yeah. So what I was showing you before, that's the Flux hash rate, and I had the Raven hash rate. So let's go back to the Octo. Let me try and pump this up a bit. Let's put 2200 on this memory. I'll put 2200 on the other 3070 memory. See if we can pump that hash rate over 30. They're running nice and cool. I love it. I love it. And how are my Zotacs faring? Not too bad. Okay. Oh, we have an error here on. Yeah, okay. Cool. So I actually just captured it here. I have this bug that happens sometimes. It might be because I'm OCing this card too much. It seems to happen with other 3060s, but it's always the 3060s, and my hash rate will drop just randomly. Like I had this even with Ethereum, where I thought it was maybe because of the unlock, where I had full hash rate and then it would drop to a cut hash rate and I'd have to restart my Octo miner. But now I'm on Ravencoin, which is not affected by LHR at all, and I still get this, where I should be getting like 23, 24 mega hash, like on this 3060. or this 36C, which is a little low actually. But yeah, 17, like that doesn't make sense. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. Maybe I'm overclocking it too much, but I've tried in the past, and this is a while back. I tried tuning down the overclocks, and it never changed anything when I was on Ethereum. So maybe it will for Ravencoin. I don't know. I should probably turn this down. 2400 for Raven seems a little much, probably overkill, but whatever. So I upped the memory on both the 3070s. Yeah, let me restart the monitor. Try 0PL. Yeah, that might work. That might work. I'm not going to try it today during the stream, but it's something that's been bothering me for a little while. So I'll definitely note that. I'll try increasing the power limit, or not putting any in and just seeing what's up. And something I noticed too with the cards mining Flux, and it's something that's good. I talked about this a bit in one of my last videos. Is I see that Flux. It seems like when you set a power limit, it's not ultimately restricted by that. Like if I set a 70 power limit on my 1660 Supers, sometimes I'll see it like at 73, 74, 72 watts or under 68 watts. But it'll do that to keep that current hash rate, which I find cool, but I never really noticed many other algos doing that. Like on Ravencoin, Ethereum, you'd stay pretty much locked on that power limit. Like you might get some fluctuation, especially on LHR. Like put LHR aside, you wouldn't really get much fluctuation, but on Flux it seems like you do get fluctuation with the hash rate, which is normal, but even the power limit, like the power limit will overshoot and undershoot to try and keep the hash rate stable, or at least that's what it seems like to me. So I don't know if you guys notice that type of thing with your cards on Flux specifically. Again, I'm pretty new to the Flux game here, so I'm learning like you guys. This guy almost up to 30. Oh, did I not restart it? Oh, obviously I did not. I obviously did not restart miner. Oh wait, I did. I restarted it. I guess I just didn't wait long enough. The command didn't go through. So I might have a double restart going here. Protect your ears, people. Protect your ears. The Octo is loud when it restarts. Time is it? 4:18. Almost 4:20, boys. You know what that means. Forced P0 state. So what is that, Patrick? Forced P0 state. Let me go back. Did I play with that? I watched other content creators' videos. I think for the 1070 I did. Or I didn't. Aha, yeah, I think it was a hobbyist video and he had put it on and I just wanted to see what it did without it. So let's see, using this option forcibly turns on, okay, is a fixed maximum power mode. Base clock by 400, so keep this in mind setting on your own clock. Decrease increase frequency to wait to a failure of time, sharp decrease in load. So is it running in P2 mode by default? Not for mining versions of GPUs, setting P0 mode. Okay, for mining versions, I don't have mining versions. Sometimes GPUs designed for gaming work by default. Okay, so by default it's in P2 mode, and that explains it. Great. Okay, Patrick, man, dropping the knowledge in the chat. Fucking awesome. Okay. So look, in my mind, even after having understood that, I was like, I'm gonna keep my GPUs in P2 because I like that it keeps the hash rate and varies the power to keep that hash rate. But will it now make it so I keep the hash rate constant, but the power limit also doesn't vary? Like, would you expect it to be better in P0 mode? Basically is my question. Drop your M clocks by 400. Yeah. So that's what it said there too, right? P0 mode will automatically boost your base clocks, so to decrease it. And I'm assuming if they're telling you that in Hive OS, it's 400, like Linux memory, right? 400. So I'm going to drop this to, let's say, 800 or something. Dude, is it not restarting? Is my Octominer not restarting? Not restarting, boys. Let's try and stop the miner. I might have to manually restart this. Or stop, that's what I want. That's weird, man. NVIDIA applied with errors. What's up? What's up with this? It did 10 NVIDIA cards. Huh, error assigning value 75 to attribute target fan speed. Why can't I tell it to take 75 fan speed? What's wrong with that? A lot of times I get errors and they're not really errors, so. What is going on? Did it restart now or not? I'm really confused because I didn't hear it restart. But it's like the minor restart worked and not the previous ones. Anyway. Take care, New England. I'm gonna head off soon anyway. Take care, man. Enjoy your time with your kid. Thanks for tuning in, man. Okay, back to the Octo. Too much on the mem clock on what card? You think on the 3070's? Because all the rest of the cards I had running super stably with exactly these clocks. So it could be that. The restart worked now, so let me clear all this. I'm just gonna wait and see if it crashes again. I'm getting an error here on which card is this? Still not 3060. So see, it's another thing. When this bug happens, normally restarting the miner doesn't work. I have to restart the whole rig. So let's stop the miner. Can't set fan speed when you lose a GPU. Okay. That makes sense. Next time anyway, I'm gonna open up the Hive shell, I'm gonna see what's up. But it could very well be that. Let's see, miner stop, let's go. Okay, so that worked. Let's restart this bad boy. Reboot. Okay, so we can close this stuff. All right, so we're just gonna restart this. I'm gonna check out what's up on the rig and we'll probably log off in not too long. So if you guys have any specific questions, anything like that, let me know. Drop back the 2K, power limit 0, and keys the core clock. Patrick, which card, my dude? You're talking on the 3070's. Let me know. We're gonna go do a hard reboot, I think. One of those, number 3. Yeah, 3070, yeah. I'm gonna see. It's actually restarting now, I hear it, which is good. So we'll see what happens when I restart. I'll check the miner. The Hive shell. Yeah, I think it was GPU 3. $3070 was this guy. Yeah, okay, so look, they're mining now. I'll just open up the Hive shell to see it happen. It's GPU 1, card number 3. Oh, okay, yeah. This boy here. Yeah, that's the one that's bugging out in terms of the hash rate, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. 2000 PL0 increase core clock. Yeah, let me just look at Hive shell first. So I'll check the 3070's soup. Miner. How do I switch? How do I get to T-Rex? Do you guys know? Control AA, right? That's it. Voila. So what do we have here? 3070. 3070. 34. Sweet. Okay. So my 3070's, see, they're doing a bit better now. We have 30 mega hash on this guy, pretty much 30 on that guy. And I can always up the core as well. This one I have at 200 core. Maybe these 3070's can take it too. And I can probably tune up the memory as well a little bit on these. But yeah, Patrick, you were saying this this card here I should probably tune down a little bit and increase the core. Let me slap you a little mod here. One sec, buddy. There you go. And when that one crashed, they can take more cards with it. Any cards, so that's... Yeah, I would experience that when I first started, when Xandercoin sent me the RX 580 and I put it in the rig, I had so many issues, man. It was like, it was just accentuated by the fact that I had AMD and NVIDIA cards in the same rig. Until I had everything perfect, yeah, like one card would crash, it would bug out the whole Octominer, the whole thing, like all the miners, all the cards would just be kaputski and I would have to restart the whole thing. So it took me a few weeks before I got that RX 580 running stably. And I think I had the RX 580 and one of my 3060's again wasn't overclocked properly. And I was like constantly thinking it was one card, but it was both, and it took me a while to get it really running stably. So that's why when I have something running stably, I always note what I have running, at what overclocks, because getting something working doesn't take long. Like you guys saw, I just put in some base values for the 3070's. They were running at 29 point something mega hash at the proper power consumption, but then fine tuning it to get that extra 2% out of it, or 1%, or 1 mega hash, whatever it is, that's where it becomes hard. And it's a question of really fine tuning it, right? Off topic, luffing the rig, nice combo of GPUs, similar to mine. Thanks, dude. Generic Slurp. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I mean, my Octo, that's kind of the philosophy behind it. So I have my 1660 Super rig, 6 1660 Supers. I have my 30 series rig up here, 6 30 series cards, and my Octo is kind of just a mix mash of cards. So it was my third rig, and my third and final rig as of now. And that's why I have the 1070 Ti in there, have the RX 580, I have 1660 Supers, and 3060s, 3070s, and 3060 Ti's. Try backing off the Mem 2000 and then try increasing PL or putting it 0. Yeah, one at a time, definitely. I run that too, yeah. So look, okay, we're having fun. Let's stay on a bit longer. I was gonna dip out. Let's stay on. You know what? We'll go a step farther. Wait up, boys. Even this EVJ is running at 2400. It may be too much. Maybe I'm pushing these EVJ cards too much, and that's why this one is even a little bit lower. Yeah. 4. 135. Thing is, if I'm not sure what I want to change first. I'll explain to you why, because it's really intermittent. It doesn't happen very often. So, if I reduce the overclocks, I might not see it happen, like for a long time, and I won't know if it's fixed or not because of that. So, should I try changing something else first? Oy, oy, oy. Look, we're getting 23.44 mega hash. Let's put it to 2200. Okay. And I'm gonna put this one to 2200 as well, and just see what it changes on the performance. 22.4 or 23.4, excuse me, and this is 22.6. Try it. Restart the miner. Let's see what's up. Yeah, the 580. Yeah. So Patrick is right on there. The 580 will say whatever it says in the mining software, but it probably pulls way more than that. What you can trust, however, on the Octos, guys, is the power consumption that's dictated here. So the power consumption here is correct, and I've measured that with a watt meter on the wall. I had it directly connected to the Octo, and the Octo was like not even 5 watts off what the watt meter was saying. So I don't know if it's like the board in the Octo miner that all the PSUs are connected to, or if it's the server PSUs that can forward this information. I think it's the server PSUs because you really have it per PSU, but I can't confirm 100%. Yeah, DP again, and on these AMD cards, like that's my only one. So I had a lot to learn, and I'm not an expert of AMD cards by any matter of the imagination, any stretch of the imagination. Like all these DPM states, the core voltage, all that stuff, I never touched with that, like touch any of that. So I was really like overwhelmed. I think they're a lot harder to overclock properly than NVIDIA cards, but again, I haven't tried like the 6000 cards, so only tried the 580. Haven't tried 570s, haven't tried nothing else. So where are we at with the Octo here, guys? Where are we at? Okay, so look, preliminarily, reducing the memory did not even hurt our mega hash at all in the 3060s. So I'll probably leave them at that for now, 2200, and see if it happens again. Because if it doesn't happen again, I'll leave them at that. Who knows? And my 3070s are still doing good. Okay. You know what? Give me a minute. I'm gonna go up, get a little brewski. I'll be right back, guys, and we'll leave the Octo miner a bit of time to stabilize. We'll maybe try and fine tune the 3070 some more, and after the beer, we'll be done. So if anybody wants to join me in having a little drink, feel free to. I'll be right back. Excuse me. I feel like Red Fox, man, drinking during my streams. Let's go. I'll probably see you guys at a stream later, so. Cheers to whoever's having a brewski with me. I don't try too hard to tune it. Sometimes running stock and PL runs more stable. Yeah, so at a certain point, man, you got to give up. Like I was probably this close to giving up on that 580 in the sense that when I had problems, it was on Ethereum. I could run it super stably, super stably on Raven. Was it BIOS modded for it? Yeah, because it was BIOS modded for Raven. So maybe that didn't help. And when I tried to tune it for Ethereum, man, it was so finicky, so finicky. I really don't, I really don't want to go through that again. Yeah, Fireball, dude. I actually love Fireball. It's great. But if you drink too much of that stuff, man, anything that's really sweet like that, I find, is just like, it's a killer if you drink too much. 5 GPU, 580 full rig for 700 euro. Okay, what kind of rig is that? Is that an open air rig? Is that a Octominer server case? Because I probably wouldn't pay more than 100 Canadian dollars for a 580 right now, 8 gig to be honest. So if you have 5 of them in the rig, it's like 500 bucks, and you're paying 700 euros, maybe a little bit on the expensive side. Like I'd maybe wait a bit more if you're going for like inefficient GPUs like that. I'd maybe try and get it at a lower price. But that's why I'm asking, like, what comes with it? Do you have a nice open air frame? Do you have an Octominer? Like if it's an Octominer, well, it's obviously there's more value to it, right? So let me know. But I turned down 8 RX 588 gig, 60 USD each. Yeah. So look, let me look here. What's 60 USD to CAD? You're saying 60 US bucks is 80. Okay, so there you go. So I was thinking I would pay 100 Canadian dollars for them. And like that's my max. So 60 bucks is fair, but I would probably have turned it down too. Like unless it's a full rig, it's just too efficient or too inefficient right now with the profitability. Like if we were back, back last year when you could mine Ethereum with that, I would go ham. I would just like burn the electricity and mine the coins, right? But and that's something I've actually thought about too. Like, should I try and buy some RX 580s and do a dedicated AMD 580 rig? But even though they're cheap, it just feels like not a bad move, but it doesn't feel like the optimal move to do because they're old cards, they're inefficient. Even if they're cheap, it's still going to be long to get your ROI on that, and you're going to be burning a lot of electricity on the way there. So again, it depends on your scenario, right? If you have tons of spaces for cards, go for it. If you're really limited on space, you're going to want to go with more hash dense stuff. But I don't know. I don't know. I would probably like to do a 580 rig and get some more experience with AMD cards or whatnot. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I forgot, it was a Pierre I was talking to before in the chat. It was from France. And I think it's because the euro has dropped a lot in value. US and CAD have been pretty like even to what they normally are. Canadian is worth less. But like everything to euro, so CAD to euro or USD to euro, like here, we'll look at it, has been crazy. Like look at this, here. We'll do USD to euro. What is that? 1.03? Like, I have not seen that in the longest time. That's crazy. Let's look at 5 years. Like 0.8 is like what it's around, 0.8, 0.9, and now we're above 1, right? So the US dollar is worth more than the euro. But that's why, man. That's why. So I was looking at prices new, like I was saying to Pierre before, and It just doesn't make sense. Like, the prices for new cards in Europe were more in euros than they were in Canadian dollars here, right? Which again, like if I'm in Europe, I'm not touching that at all. And your energy cost is more expensive. So man, my heart goes out to the European miners who are, yeah, not easy for you guys. Being honest, man, it's not great here either. Like, obviously our power cost is better. The cards are cheaper, but the economy in general is not doing any better. It's all relative, right? It's all relative to your cost of living, your income, and all that. But same shit, different story. Pardon my language. For me, it's power. MA-USA. Is it MA, Massachusetts? I might be way off, man. I might be way off, so don't laugh at me, please. What's MA? 0.25! Whoa! That is brutal, dude. 64%. Oh, that hurts. Back last year, I was paying 120, 140 per 580 ETC 4G card and flipping them for 225 on eBay. It's pretty good. Yeah, like I was saying before, that's sort of what I did with my first rigs. Like when I had 10 series, I would buy cards and try and flip them, either flip them for cash or flip them up to other cards. So I would start with like a 1060, flip it to a 1070, flip it to a 1070 Ti, then I'd flip it to a 1660 Super or something, like without putting in money. Or sometimes I would even do that and make money. So yeah, you can, that's actually how I built up a lot of my farm during COVID, because stuff was really expensive. Like obviously everything was profitable, shit was expensive. So I put in a little more work, a little more time to be able to do that without putting in a lot of money. Oh, Massachusetts, okay, nice, I got it. I had my doubts on that one, man. I wasn't very confident. Buy Flux then mine. Oh, Pierre, you're still here, man. Nice. Yeah, that's a very valid argument, guys. Like a lot of people say you should just not mine the coin. You should just buy it, and that makes perfect sense. Look, I'm an engineer. I'm a guy of math. The math makes sense. I can't argue with you, but to me, there's two things that change it. One, it's a matter of principle and supporting the network, right? So it's not just a question of getting Ravencoin or getting Flux. It's participating in that ecosystem and being part of the network. That's one thing. And two is that it's also a pain in the ass to buy coins, right? You have to go through a KYC or whatever platform you're using. It's normally a pain in the ass. It's more steps. And there are tax implications. There are tax implications there too when you're buying coins versus mining them. And man, I had so much, not trouble, I'm not gonna say that, but it was a pain in the butt to do my tax stuff. Like I did it all myself basically, and had obviously a proper tax person like file my stuff and correct me and answer my questions. But I did basically all my research and my taxes myself. So I know all the stuff for mining, I know all the stuff for trading, and I just don't want to have to complicate my next year's tax report more than I need to. Like, it's not worth the trouble. Hey, Red Fox! Red Fox, what's up, dude? Yeah, that is your 1070 Ti. That is your 1070 Ti, my dude. It is. I was talking to people about that before. Wait, let me hit you with a mod badge here. There you go, my dude. Cheers. Cheers to Red Fox. What is up, my dude? I'm going to be tuning into your stream later, that's for sure. But yeah, that's your 1070. So I have your 1070 Ti in there. Still, it's on Solana. I see Souls and I go to Solana. It's on Flux right now. And I just added this 3070 here, both these 3070s that I purchased. I caved and I bought cards. They were 330 Canadian dollars a piece, which is crazy. And they're non-LHR and they're EVGA. So I slapped them in the Octominer, and this is sort of my mix mash rig. So you can see I have a 580, which Xandercoin sent me. This is the other card that I was sent, and obviously your 1070 Ti, man, still going strong. Still going strong. I love it. Cheers, man. Cheers. Yeah, are you streaming Red Fox? If I remember correctly, you streamed the Sunday before, but not last Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. I think that was the case. Now that I actually have time to be more implicated in the community, like every Sunday I'm like, okay, Red Fox stream, then House of Dragons, or House of the Dragon. Been going for an hour 45. Holy crap, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun. Ah, boys, I know this guy has more cards too. I think he has Zotac 3070's, which Zotac I maybe don't want to touch, but he has 3060 Ti's, he has 3060's, and I still have one slot in my Octominer, but I should be a responsible adult and not do that. I should definitely not do that. Yeah, Red Fox, join the club, man. Since I've been back, I've just been like, I have time for a video here. I'd make it. I had time for a live stream today. I was like, yeah, let me try it. I'm just, going with the flow. Going with the flow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. It's a little slower than Game of Thrones, but I didn't have much to watch on TV anymore, and I went for it's pretty good. And I started watching the Lord of the Rings series as well. I heard a lot of hate on it, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's half decent so far where I'm at. So, hobbyist streaming at 9:30 tonight. Okay, cool. I'll try and be there. Philip Kwan, what's up, man? What's up? The 3070's were 330 bucks Canadian. Excuse me, a piece. Mind the burp. 330 Canadian a piece. So I bought two of them for $660, and they are full hash rate cards, and they are EVGA cards. Cannot beat EVGA. Fam is home beer. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, man. Nobody's ever obliged to stay here. If you have other things to do, family, whatever it is, please. I'm just hanging out on a Sunday, lazy Sunday, having a little brewski. The hard work's done now anyway. The cards are in, they're mining. All above 30 mega hash, that's what I like to see. I'll probably do some more fine tuning on this, but everything's nice and solid now. And on the 3060's, we are pretty stable as well. So yeah, Patrick, I'll see, man. I think reducing it to 2200 will probably solve the issue. I don't see a drop in mega hash either, so it can only be good. Yeah. Let's close the shell in a box. So, Red Fox, if you're still there, man, I have a question for you. I know you moved all your stuff to your garage. And obviously, I'm assuming, you had to pay an electrician to set up all the 240 volt and plugs and stuff in there. Since you already had all that stuff set up in your basement, I know you already have all the electrical, all that stuff, are you planning on putting more cards in your basement, ASIC, something else? Are you planning on reusing the, I'll say infrastructure you currently have in your basement? Or are there other plans we're not aware of that you're going to use that space for? I'm curious. Whoever's watching, if you didn't smash the like, please go ahead and do that. I'd appreciate it. I'm getting into those streamer habits now. Smash the like, subscribe, spit that out every 10 minutes. And I can change the music too, huh? If you guys would rather some different music. What kind of music do you guys like to listen to? Let's change the subject a bit while we're just chilling here having a beer. What type of music do you guys like to listen to? Oh yeah, it's true, you do it yourself, huh? Yeah. I do what I can myself. If I have to change light fixtures, I do all that in my house, grounding a plug, stuff like that. But connecting to the breaker box, all that stuff, I'd just rather be safe, man. There's two things that I'd rather be safe than story with, and it's plumbing and electricity. I'm somebody who likes to do what I can myself. If I can do it myself, I'm not gonna pay somebody for it. I'm gonna research how to do it. I'm gonna learn how to do it. I'm gonna do it myself, and I'll keep doing it myself. But plumbing and electricity, I don't know, man. That's something I don't want to take a risk with. Okay, changing the lights, stuff and I'm not saying changing a light bulb, guys, okay? I'm changing the whole light fixture, all right? So yeah, stuff like that I don't mind, but yeah, I don't know. I was saying, I said it earlier in the stream, but my girlfriend's cousin is an electrician, and we get along fine. So I just have him over, we chill out, he does a few things for me, and it works out. So, and we're at the same time, right? Yeah, I know. I remember you you had said in past videos, you wired all your, like the basement and stuff yourself, and always said, don't recommend you do this yourself, but good man. If ever I plan on becoming adventurous enough to try it myself, I'll hit you up and I'll ask you for tips when I'm not sure. Electrician Red Fox. I'd like most of my setup in the garage, but all the electric is still set in the basement. Yeah, so if stuff gets profitable again, I can move stuff in the basement to help heat and hot. Okay, so it's good. So you have like 2 spots and you can kind of disperse it. So that's something I'm sort of thinking about now a little bit, guys, and I talked about it earlier, is now it's getting colder, right? So it's not so much a question of keeping this room cool. Obviously, it's always a question of keeping the room cool, but I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. So I want to send the heat not outside through the window, but reuse it in the house. So what I sort of do is I'll leave this window cracked a little bit to let air come in, fresh air come in. I'll set up a floor fan, like, you know, a round floor fan I have over here, to shoot the air out of this room. And that heats the rest of my basement, sort of, okay? And then naturally, the air will move upstairs, and it sort of does heat my house right now. Obviously, the more efficient thing would be to take one of these rigs, let's say my 1660 Super rig, stick it upstairs somewhere and have more of an even heat distribution. And my third option would be to do what I think Chump Change did before, and would be to like cut one of the vents of the HVAC system, right, on the outlet, which sends all the cold or hot air, whatever it is, depending on hot, you know, summer or winter, to your floor ducts. And sending the hot air directly in there, right? I would need probably a grow tent, set up my rigs in there, set up, and just there. There's already a piece cut out of my vent. I could just stick it in there and let the hot air flow up to my house. I think that would probably be the best option, because I could keep all my rigs in the basement and still propagate the heat through the house really efficiently. Yeah, I think that'd be the best option, but I'm wondering if you guys have any ideas what type of things I could do to sort of spread it evenly, because I think the easiest thing would just be to bring a rig upstairs, but do I really want rigs in every part of my house? Not really, not really. They get noisy. Yeah, I have a dog, I have a cat, so I'd rather have them down here, you know, but yeah, I'm just sort of thinking out loud. If anybody would recommend, have something to recommend or whatnot, like, again, I'm thinking the most efficient would be the grow tent, because then I could have everything down here. It'd be nice and controlled. The heat wouldn't even leak into this room that much. The Octo Miner I would leave here, and then stick the grow tent either in this room and cut a hole through the maintenance room, or put them all in the maintenance room and just feed the hot air into the rest of the house. Yeah, it's a nice little engineering problem. But it's good. It's all nice, because it's just reusing what you currently have, right? I'm trying to not do it like my last apartment. In the winter, it would get so hot in the whole apartment, man. I would have to open my windows and just let the air go out. Like, I'd have my back door open in the winter, and I would have my office window open because it was just too hot. Like, all my rigs in the small apartment would overheat it, even if it was like super cold out. And yeah, I was just. That's pure waste, right? So obviously in the summer, you're just sending all your hot air outside, but in the winter, I'd really like to not put my heating on at all, because let's say right now, it's not even that cold. And in my upstairs, I haven't turned the heating on yet once. It does get kind of cold. So if I can avoid turning on my heating and paying even more electric and really just reusing what I'm currently using for mining, that would be the ideal, especially now when it's super unprofitable. So yeah, but just thoughts. I don't know how much a grow tent is. I'd probably need one of those inline AC Infinity fans. I'd have to check it out. Maybe I could reach out to them. They'd be willing to sponsor me or something. I don't know. I would have to think about it, but. And I also have to buy a new vent cover. So I have, like I said, forced air in my house. And I have a vent that exits into this room. But in the summer, it's a vent you can't really close. So in the summer, I'm bleeding air conditioning into this room. Not a lot, but I'm always kind of bleeding air conditioning and wasting it here. So that's something else I have to improve. I might try and move my setup from this side of the room over to the window, but my plug is on this side, so I need to get another PDU with a long cable and run it around here. So So anyway, like I said, everything's up and running. It's good, but I have some optimization to do. And yeah, it's just a question of seeing how I want to do it and what is a good setup that is flexible, meaning I can, you know, move it, undo it, whatever, that's cost efficient and that is energy efficient at the end of the day. So yeah. I know a lot of guys have been doing Solar 2, 3 Fox Co. If you guys, one of the most underrated YouTube channels in my opinion. If you guys don't know 3 Fox Co, I would check him out. There's a lot of solar content now. That's another really great option if you have the funds. Because now, man, he's laughing all the way to the bank because he can use that solar energy to mine for free. So his electric cost for whatever he can, you know, get in his batteries through solar is 0. So even if you turn off your rigs 22 hours per day and you can mine 2 hours per day, it's still 2 hours of free mining, right? So let's get back to chat here. Tom, what's up, my dude? Good to see you here. Thank you for showing up, man. How are you? It has been a long time. It has. I'm glad to be back. Dumb question. How would octominers work in a grow tent? I have a big enough tent with ample room in front / behind, but having negative pressure from exhaust inline fans. What? Okay, let me think about this. Yeah, you know, you're 100% right. So the octos, look, I am not going to put my octos in a grow tent. Like I would get a smaller grow tent that would just fit the rigs, sort of like I've seen on Red Fox's channel, for example. But if you were to do that, you need to leave some sort of intake. So let's say you have your AC Infinity fan at the top, right, with your output, let's say for the heat, and it's going wherever. If you have an AC Infinity fan running, yeah, if you don't have an intake, you have negative pressure, which is not doing, you're basically just starving your rigs of air, right? So you should probably have an intake fan somewhere. If I would do that, that's what I would do. I would have an intake in the window, right? Inline fan there, so you're feeding fresh air in, and you're not necessarily creating this negative pressure, but you either have to leave some sort of opening with a filter, so it, you know, having the inline fan creates a negative pressure which sucks air into your grow tent to circulate it, or you need to have another inline fan feeding it in. But yeah, it depends, man. If you have one rig in there, you can probably deal with the negative pressure, you know, have the zipper open a bit, and I mean, the thing's not 100% airtight, you'll get air leakage in there, but if you have a bunch of them, yeah, you're gonna need to manage that by using water. Some hydroelectricity, huh? That's where I live. That's where we get a lot of our power. So it definitely is possible, man. I don't know what type of like water source you have for that. If you have like a river close or like a waterfall or something, but yeah, cool. Yeah, I've thought of solar too a little bit, seeing 3 Fox Co go at it, but it's expensive, man. It's a lot of initial investment, and I don't have the capital to do that right now, and I'm not sure at that price it would be a worthy ROI now. Like, especially with winter coming now, you're not getting that much or less sun than you would in the summer. So I'll think about it next year or the year after. Wow, I've been going for 2 hours. So look, the brewski is almost done. If you guys have any more questions, any topics you want to discuss, anything on your mind, you want to talk about how your weekend went, whatever it is, feel free. We're just chilling now at this point. We're just chilling. Let's check the octo miner. 30 mega hash. Oh, and disclaimer, I didn't put the top back on the octo miner, so these temps are without the top. Take it with a grain of salt, right? Temps will go up once I put that top back on. And I also have to screw the GPUs in, but hey, it is what it is. Two hours, man. Holy crap. I'm getting hungry.
current opening rigs. Oh, tent by intake.
Yeah, so I agree with you there. If you have a few open air rigs, should be okay. But the octo miner, that circulates a lot of air. I mean, unless you have like delta fans on your open air rig or something, yeah. But I don't know too, like again, in my mind, I'm thinking about a small type grow tent or medium size, whatever that I would get. But if you're saying you have a really big one, maybe the the amount of negative pressure you'll be getting from the octos won't be as crazy because you have a large volume of air in your grow tent. But again, I don't know how big your thing is, and I don't know how many rigs you have in there, so I think it's just a question of turning them on, seeing how bad it's like collapsing your grow tent, and then adjusting from there, right? But for sure, you don't want negative pressure because then you're sucking in a bunch of dust, right? That's the thing. So if you have like an intake port or hole to your grow tent, you don't even need to put an inline fan there. You can just let the negative pressure suck in air through there. Just if there's no filter on it already, put a filter behind it so you're not sucking in the dust and dirt and all that crap, and that gives it a channel for the air to go and be filtered right into your rigs. But if you're just, leaving the zipper open on your grow tent and sucking in air through there, yeah, you're getting dust and dirt and pet hair and whatever you have in your house, right? So yeah, just do it in a smart way, right? Trial and error. Yeah, dude, trial and error. Trust me, I've done classes on stuff like fluid dynamics and thermodynamics and stuff like that, and the best way is always trial and error. It's experimenting and testing. So you can give yourself an idea of, okay, I'll probably start with this because in my mind this will be the most efficient setup. So maybe you'll get a better starting point, but finding your ultimate solution will always be better and less time consuming by trial and error, right? So that's the best thing to do, right? Like overclocking, right? Trial and error. Not everything, or not the same overclocks will work on every card, the same memory type, so it is what it is, man. And I think that's something you have to like if you're a GPU miner, right? You have to be willing to play that, trial and error game, right? Because not just with the stuff we're talking about, but with what you're mining, right? You might spec mine something which ends up being a shit coin. You lose, the money you invested in that, and hey, it is what it is, trial and error, right? Keep on going, try something else, and it is what it is, man. You can't be perfect. It's always a question of doing the best you can and making smart, informed decisions, but nobody's perfect, guys. Nobody's perfect. All right, I got one sip of Corona left. So if you have any parting questions or anything, let me know now. I'm actually just gonna put the boxes away. I had put my cards in these EVGA bags I stole from my two 3070 Ti's. Because like I said, this guy didn't have the boxes or the anti-static bags or anything. So I just took the stuff from these cards temporarily, so I wasn't leaving the cards out. So let's just put this away. You guys still dual or single? No, I don't touch Zilliqa. I'm looking forward to winter so I can justify to my wife turning on the rigs to heat up the apartment. Dude, I feel you, because I make the same argument. My girlfriend tells me, oh, it's cold upstairs. I'm like, number one, it's not that cold. You can put on a hoodie. And I'm not a fan of wearing a hoodie. I like to walk around in a t-shirt or half freaking naked almost. But in the winter, you gotta wear something. But then when she complained, I told her, hey, I can buy you more cards and build a new mining rig upstairs, right? Or I can bring a 1660 Super rig upstairs to heat it. And yeah, that's where it kind of falls apart. I don't know about you, man. Okay, dude, I can't even get this in the box. But one beer and we're done, so. No, like this, right? Dude, I'm so sad VGA aren't making cards anymore. Honestly, what the hell? Screw Nvidia, right? Like, not just the cards. I've talked about this like 3 times during this live stream, but even the packaging, man. Look at this box. It's a box inside the box. You get a Zotac card, it's like duct taped in some foil wrap and shoved in the box. And they're like, here, take your GPU. What? No. Well, these GPUs are now relics of a time when EVGA made graphics cards. Let's get the second one going here. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was gonna do the stream earlier, but Rabid was streaming, and his stream went on for probably a good 2 hours as well. So I wanted to start at 2:30. I delayed to 2:45, and he was still going, so I delayed to 3. But yeah, this time worked good for me too. I mean, maybe a little earlier would have been nice, but I know I have, or I even talked to a lot of my mining buddies or EU as well. So. I'm well aware of that. There's not just North America and the world. And I watch a lot of F1, which is a very European and like British sport. So I'm very aware of that time zone difference. I'm up very early on many weekends to watch the races. And sometimes it's unpleasantly early, but you do what you gotta do, huh? Sweet. All right, guys. So, cheers. Thanks for tuning in. For an XA Ultra, 4000. No, man, I would not. I love octominers. I wouldn't pay $1,200 just for the octominer. No way. Especially an X8. Even if it was an X12 Ultra, I wouldn't pay 1,200 euros for it, man. I wouldn't. Like, look, okay, you get 3 server power supplies. That's like $100 each, let's say. So that's $300 there. And yeah, you get the server case, the fans, and the motherboard, and all that stuff. But is that worth $1,200? I don't know. It would need to be under 1,000 for me to consider an octominer, to be all completely honest. Because think of the alternative. Like, unless you have 3090's and you're struggling cooling them and it's like a dire situation, if you buy a frame, motherboard, CPU, all that power supply, you can probably get that stuff for like $500, $600, let's say. So is the, okay, yeah, you might need some fans too and this and that, whatever, let's say $700. So is the octominer worth like double or $500 more than that? I don't know. I guess it depends on your situation. I think that's still a little bit pricey. Masterpiece. Oh yeah, I wish I had FTW3 cards, man. I'd asked the guy too before I went to pick them up. I'm like, are they for the Win 3 or XC3s? And he didn't answer me. So going there, I was like, fingers crossed these are for the Win 3 cards, and they weren't. They're XC3s, but it is what it is. My 1070 Ti's are for the Win 3 ones, and man, these are beautiful. I absolutely love them. So yeah, last sip. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off. Time to eat something. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. Generic Slurp, Pierre, MC, Tom, Red Fox, everybody who was here before. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for tuning in. It was great chatting with you guys. I wasn't expecting to stream for 2 hours and 10 minutes, but here we are. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys around, right? Take care, boys. See ya.